Hey friends, Doppler Dave here. I know the sky looks like this. It's very gnarly looking out there. I just wanted to really come on and kind of track the storm coming across Amarillo. And just to let you know, this is not a day that we're anticipating much severe weather. Certainly not a tornadic day. That being said, sometimes we get those little land spout type surface circulations that get pulled up. You know, we can't rule that out. But this is not a day that we're outlooked for big tornadoes or really even big hail. I think we might see some pretty good wind, very heavy rainfall. So this is live from Amarillo, looking down to the south at this time. I'll show you some other camera shots here and see what's going on other parts of our area here. Again, for Amarillo, we're looking at very heavy rainfall. Let me get out of this and we'll probably get some pretty good lightning. And I think the rain is going to come down hot and heavy. So I just wanted to let folks know. There's a live shot from Bushland, kind of a bluish looking sky. Same thing, low hanging gray clouds, very dark on the bottom, and it looks really ominous right there. So we're tracking that. Here's Paladuro Canyon, and rain has begun there. I want to get you over to the radar right now as we sweep around. Again, you can see some pockets of red. What I don't think we're going to see there is, big, baseball hail kind of stuff today. Maybe some small hail. We haven't had any, supercell storms that are rotating and producing tornadoes. But here's the rain, and we saw it there at Paladuro Canyon. The city of Canyon picked up a big, heavy downpour, and now it's pretty much the southwest side of Amarillo back towards Bushland. So, when we cover all the distance there between Canyon and Amarillo, you got Madison Park, you got Strawberry Fields, you got Sunflower, you got all those subdivisions, Blue Lake, Spring Lake, those areas, and then up to the South Loop. And this will update here soon. I think it's going to make a little further progress in there. Randall High School, you got Trinity Fellowship, you got Town Lake, you get the Greenways, you got the Colonies. That's spreading on up now towards Sleepy Hollow. Towards Ridgecrest, towards Belmar, towards I-40. Right now it's pretty much going up and down Sauncey and all the way up to I-40. Just heavy, heavy rainfall. I know the sky looks ugly and it looks like, Armageddon, if you will, but really we're just looking at heavy rainfall. There's Paladuro Canyon, and we'll kind of go back and forth. We also have our chase unit that's out, and the Weather Atlas, and they can send us video also. In fact, while we track this in, Alex, I'm going to let you kind of tell us where you are and what you're seeing so far in Amarillo, if any concerns we need to know about.
Hey Dave, yeah, so we're on the kind of the southeast side of the loop. We are just on Whitaker in the loop. So we're about to approach Washington in the loop. We had a really good rainfall in Canyon, which was great. Maybe there was some small hail probably towards the canyon, but we didn't experience any hail or anything like that. We get a lot of outflow of the storm. You see a lot of dust getting kicked up as I switch over here to my front view right here. So it looks kind of concerning, but it's totally fine. Probably some gusty winds and some good rain. I got Caleb here next to me, so if you want to chime in.
A little bit and let folks know okay. There's an update right there. So now we're really spreading that rain in City View, looks like, and approaching downtown and trade winds. So now we're getting into Olson. Also, we're getting into the Western Plateau area, all the way up to I-40, and it looks like the heaviest rain is going to be South Amarillo and just west of Amarillo, out let's say Helium Road, out towards Arnott, and folks in Bushland got another big rain coming in, and we can't rule out some small hail here. It's just not going to be the golf ball to baseball size stuff. But, with the sky looking the way that it has, I wanted to come on and really relieve people, reassure you that, man, I know it's dark and it's going to be raining and thunder and lightning, but this is not a tornadic event. This is what here is coming into Amarillo right now. And you can see that's the leading edge, the shelf cloud of that storm. It's coming up from the south. and got kind of some bluish colors back behind it. And if we look, let's take a live look. This is in bushland right now, and as we look at that, I'm going to kind of bring it back to the west a little bit. There we go. So there's our live shot from bushland, looking pretty much straight south right there at that just kind of menacing looking cloud, if you will, loaded with rain and maybe some small hail, and that'll be coming right on up to I-40 here really quickly. I'm going to come back out to our weather atlas. Alex and Caleb are out there, and Alex, looks like you're getting into the heavy rainfall there.
We haven't. We actually saw just a little while ago, just a few seconds ago, right before you tossed me, a pretty good CG lightning bolt. But yeah, we're getting into the rain now. We're about to approach 27 on the loop here. We actually started the chase. We started the day heading out towards Vega, and we saw the stuff out towards Silverton and Tulia started to go off. So we dropped south out of Wildorado and went to Umbarger and then met up with it in Canyon. So we're just eyeing it. So far, just good rain. No land spouts. Like I said, we saw a lot of dirt getting kicked up with the outflow, but nothing tight rotation or anything like that.
Thank you, Alex, Caleb. They're out in the weather atlas. I'm looking live south of Bushland here, and that's about to move on up. Looks like it's coming into Outpost and about to swing on up to all the little subdivisions there south of I-40 and then up Bushland Road. Pretty ugly looking cloud, but I can tell you right now that so far we're only seeing heavy rainfall. I mean, it's going to come down, but the hail, I think, is going to be small. So time for us to kind of move down the road here. We'll take a look at different radar images, see what we have. Again, there's Amarillo rain now moving in about the southern half of the city. We haven't had reports of tornadoes. Looks like the rain now getting up to I-40 and Bushland. On radar, again, what you don't see are a lot of warnings. In fact, in our area right now, we're down to just really a flood advisory by Silverton. So we'll take a look at Amarillo here, and there's the heavy rain. Pretty much now the southeast half of Amarillo. It starts on the south loop there. That's going to be, looks like, what, close to Osage. Comes on up to, say, Alice Landergan School and the South Lawn area, Lawndale area, and then cuts across the west half of Amarillo now, really getting some heavy rainfall. Bushland starting to get swallowed up, and then north of Wildorado. This is feeding in from southeast back to northwest, so it's kind of a not your typical flow pattern for heavy rainfall. But that happens on a situation like today. We have a little vortex, a little disturbance that's spinning, and that's the wind flow that's causing. Bring you out just a little bit, and you see our flood advisory down around Silverton, but intensity actually down there. We're just tracking a lot of rainfall. Back over to New Mexico, Narra Vista to Logan, Tucumcari. We're going to have to watch out for flooding there because it rained so much yesterday. And then I'll come back out wide, and you'll see just pockets of mainly very heavy rainfall. Looks like Alex and Caleb really getting into it now. So
yeah, Dave, so we're actually going west on the loop. We're about to hit Western Street exit, and I mean, it's pouring. Good soaking rain, what we've really been needing for our area. And I would just say that visibility is pretty poor, so if you're out and about, take your time, because the roads are flooding and
well, I wouldn't say flooding, I would say more like ponding.
Yeah,
there's
ponding,
little slick spots here and there, but yes, it is. I mean, you could see some flooding down there.
Yeah,
on the surface roads.
So it's coming down really, really hard and soaking the ground, which is what we really, really needed.
thank you, guys. One thing we're not seeing is a lot of hail and not tornadoes. And you got to keep in mind that this is not a first alert day. This is not a day that we've anticipated a lot of severe weather. Otherwise, we'd have, every resource. We'd cover every storm out there. But, people have been kind of nervous because we've had a lot of severe weather lately, and those clouds coming in, my goodness. Well, there's Bushland and I-40 now just getting soaked. I'm going to point it down just a little bit. Okay. All right, so that's the interchange there, Bushland Road and I-40. A couple days ago, we took this, and there's baseball or tennis ball size hail falling. This time, it's just heavy, heavy rainfall. Just know that maybe if there's any hail, it's going to be small in size. Here's a look at Amarillo, and I'm going to adjust our camera here also and see what we got. So we'll swing it back, looking out to the west. That's kind of the leading edge. The southern half of Amarillo, picking up some very heavy rainfall. We'll have to watch out for the street flooding. And we'll go down to the southeast there, kind of the leading edge right there. A lot of ragged clouds, but once again, we're getting by with what I call kind of a Goldilocks situation, where we're warm enough and unstable enough to get some good thunderstorm updrafts and some heavy rainfall, but just not the intense activity that leads to everything that we call severe weather. So scanning around the radar once again, and I'll do this for just a little bit longer. We're just giving you information here today and really just kind of a reassuring little broadcast here so that you know that we're not tracking tornadoes. Again, on a day like today, about all we would expect. Sometimes we get the little land spout circulations. That's like a wind shift at the ground. Dust gets swirling around, and it gets kind of stretched up to the cloud in a little updraft. But that's a lot different than a rotating supercell storm that puts down a massive or dangerous tornado. This is just mainly a very heavy rainfall, and where the wind does get a little, little wind shift in there, little shears, that axes, we might get some of those little land spouts. So there we go. Heavy rain occupying the southwest half of Amarillo right now, with a little more feeding up. I think all of the city will eventually get some rainfall. If you're down in Canyon, you had a quick, heavy downburst a little while ago. Looks like you're taking a break, but there may be some more rain coming soon also. I'll pull out just a little bit. I'm also keeping an eye on what Alex and Caleb are looking at out there. It looks like there's the road sign right there, okay. Okay, just past, okay, I got you. I know where you are now. So coming around the loop. Looks like heavy rain, but I'm going to go ahead and pull your shot up. I'll keep talking though. And through the windshield, and that's just a good soaker. Just a good soaker. And then this is what it looks like on radar. There's an update. It's pretty heavy rainfall now. Just, oh man, looks like that's, again, filling in the City View area, really getting some good rainfall right now. I'd say Sleepy Hollow, up to Belmar, Olson, Avondale. Looks like getting right up around Wildcat Bluff and getting into Eagle Tree. Just about to clip some of Bishop Hills. Bushland now fully involved in some of that heavy rainfall. So let's take it back on the camera. We'll look and see what's going on in Bushland. Okay, almost there. Got a little dropout. Okay, there's Bushland just really, really soaking up the rain. But you notice, traffic's moving okay, and we're not seeing a lot of hail there. So pulling out just one more time, we'll do a kind of a complete radar update, look at the other storms in the area, and then we'll probably shut her down on this continuous stream. Really in just for good news to let folks know, even though the sky was looking like it's about to come to an end, that this is really kind of innocuous when we get to severe weather standards. So there we go, from Amarillo down to Lake Tanglewood, Timber Creek, the Palisades, really soaking it up. Paladuro Canyon getting a lot of heavy rainfall right now. Close up on Amarillo, the good news is the intensity has not come up. So that means we are not seeing hail, definitely not seeing wall clouds or couplets or rotations or tornadic activity. We'll zoom out a little bit, and pockets of heavy rainfall down around Silverton. I'll come in for a close-up look there. We had earlier some winds gusted over 70, And now you see the green box. That's a flood advisory from Silverton up to McKenzie, Vigo Park, just short of Wayside. But more heavy rain coming into Silverton. So, you know, have to watch out for those low water crossings. And I can't believe, you know, just a couple of days ago, we had not had a drop of rain in months, basically. And now we're talking about too much. You just know how we slingshot back and forth on that situation. And we need to talk about Narravisa and Logan and Ute Reservoir and Tucumcari, because I sat here yesterday and we tracked a ton of rain out that way. So we might have to watch out for, you know, low water crossings there getting out, crossing roads. You know the story there. If you see water across the roadway, you turn around and you don't drown. So just keep that in mind. That's one of our main concerns today is street flooding, lightning, maybe some strong winds, maybe a land spout, but just nothing really gripping. Overall, it looks like the intensity here just the last few minutes starting to drop a little bit. And now it's kind of, I think, old news for most of us. We've been tracking some heavy rainfall. That does include Amarillo. So there's the latest on Amarillo. This will be with us probably another 30 minutes, and then we'll take a break and probably get some intermittent rainfall. I'm not sure we'll see quite the intensity, and the sky might not look quite as ugly, but the takeaway today is even if you do get another storm, we're not likely to see a tornado, or I don't think we'll have damaging hail, just some small stuff. Bushland's still getting a lot of heavy rainfall and lifting to the north there. Northwest Amarillo getting heavy rainfall. So that's just kind of good news. Good to see that. Let's check in with our weather atlas one more time and see if you guys are noticing anything. I know Alex and Caleb in the distance and see some bases. I've talked about land spouts. Are you seeing anything that even hints at that right now?
No hints of any land spouts or anything like that, Dave. We're out by Highland Springs right now, and so far
2186.
On 2186, still heading west, and it's just rain, lots and lots of rain, which is, you know, like I said, good for us. We're keeping an eye out. We haven't seen anything that, you know, as far as bad hail or circulations or anything like that.
The lightning decreased.
Lightning's cooled off quite a bit, so I think people can just enjoy the rain for right now and get that moisture that we need.
That is some good news. Thank you guys for being out and giving us the report. I'm not too concerned really about severe weather aspects the rest of the day, but what we'll do, I'll finish this stream right now that we're on. We'll monitor. Should anything unexpected materialize, we'll definitely be on as we always are, and we'll keep you posted. I may do a couple updates for you on Facebook, and of course we have the 4 o'clock little news cut in, at 5 o'clock. We'll have you covered throughout the rest of the day. So thanks for being with us. Stay safe, folks. Stay tuned, and we'll keep you informed.